So I'm Martin Schelasin. I'm the head coach of Esports here at Thomas, and that entails everything from managing the teams, coaching the teams on strategy, to ensuring that they're registered in the proper leagues that they're going to compete in, and just sort of fostering an environment that's positive for students to compete in the games of their choice, whether it be casually or competitively. I'm mostly excited because of the appeal of latching onto a program so early on in the process. This is something completely fresh, something completely new. Being the first program in Maine, I can really take it wherever I want to, and with that sort of scenario, where we want to go is as high as possible. So it's a great opportunity and something that's very promising. So far, we actually have a rather impressive turnout. For a campus of this size, we've pulled together 6 teams that are all actively competing in national tier competitions, or competing on every single week basis, 2 practices a week for each of them. And so you can come into the cave at any time on any day of the week, and you'll typically have at least 2 to 5 people in here. Going into the evening when practices start, there won't be an empty chair in the room, it will be standing room only. And if you come in on the weekends, you'll have people playing in matches, watching matches, the stream going, you'll have people watching online. It's great. The community's coming together really quick. I would say that it's very exciting because it's one of the few esports programs that's on the East Coast, and where it's such a small program, if you're the type of person who's ambitious and really passionate about this, it is a place for you to make a name for yourself. It's a team where you can come on, and if you're truly willing to be an all-star, you will be an all-star, and that's something that's rare to find. Well, I was a sophomore in high school when I started taking video gaming a bit more competitively. I'd always sort of played console video games like Halo with my best friends growing up. But when it came to sort of that sophomore year in high school, I started playing World of Warcraft increasingly competitively, to the point where I hooked in with a gentleman from Germany and a gentleman from South Korea. We made a 3 versus 3 team. We were practicing 4 to 6 hours a day, oftentimes at astronomical hours because of the time difference between us all. And we hit top 50 in the world in World of Warcraft 3v3. We did the same with 2 more friends in 5 versus 5, and after 8 months of playing together, we were offered a sponsorship and we traveled out to Sweden to compete. After that, I finished up high school, obviously. I transitioned into college, and sort of using my more developed skill set, I transferred from just being a player to more of a business end part of things. I started a League of Legends fan site called Cloakanddagger Gaming. At the time, it was focused on the 3 versus 3 format of League of Legends, which had a relatively reasonably sized competitive scene, but not a lot of infrastructure to support it. And so I created that website. I had a team that played behind me, and we ultimately won multiple competitions, and that became the predominant 3 versus 3 fan site on the entire internet. Just on a basic skill set level, a lot of it's very broadly applicable. I mean, if you're using optimizations to figure out the best builds for your character in League of Legends, that's no different than optimizing a supply chain for a small business. I mean, it is quite literally the same quantitative and logical skill set. Your ability to think algorithmically in pressure moments in the game is just as transferable if you were to go into financial analysis. This is stuff that has very widespread implications for someone's professional development and general intelligence. You are going to gain a ton of skills. The ones that most immediately come to mind and are going to be most accessible for people who are in the know for esports is, what do you gain from any competitive sport? You're going to learn how to function as a part of a team, how to critically think and problem solve, how to coordinate, and how to move towards a strategic objective in tandem. Beyond that, you're dealing with a lot of introspection, a lot of self-analysis, a lot of self-betterment. A lot of these games, you can't just play them and get better. You have to look at what you're doing and actively try to improve. You have to have extremely successful time management. At the end of the day, it is a sport. You will learn quite quickly that you'll get a lot of the same skills that you would in a traditional sport, with the added benefit of a lot of these analytical prowess that are specific to esports. Oh, I love it. I guess to a certain degree, it's great because I get to continue to compete sort of peripherally in the industry that I've loved for so long, while providing an amazing opportunity to these students. I mean, seeing the passion in them that I remember myself having and that I still have right now, and being able to feed that in a positive and productive way is extremely rewarding.